Well, hello people, in previous video we already learned about how to implement get and update data through the API using block pattern, and in this video we will learn about how to implement get list data with pagination. So this is the final result that you can get through this tutorial. When I click this icon, then the data will be coming with the first page of data, and there is a button load more to getting the next page of data from the API. So just click this one, and as you can see here, the list view will be showing more data from the API. So I also can delete this. Right now it's gone from this list view, and here for add new profile or user to the API, just click save. Okay, it's success. Then let's check the list. The data already saved into server, and this is the data that we add. We can click this one and it will be showing the detail of user or profiles. And without any further ado, let's just do this, shall we? Okay, look over here. I already create the design for block profile, CRUD and pagination, and then the design will look like this. This is the list of user. So this is just the dummy data, and there is a load more button, and then the other one here, there is an icon to add new profile or user. So here is the form to add profile or user. There is a image, first name, last name, email, and then button save. So now let's go back to the list data, and let's get implement fetch all data with pagination. Before I start to code, I would like to show you the API response data. It's over here, and I have endpoint get user with query string page, and then size of page, and also search for search the data. And then look at the response data over here. There is a item for pagination. There is total items, total page, and current page, and also data, and the list of profile or user will store in this data. So now what we need to do is we need to create model for this. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and we need to create the model. I think we will create under response model over here. So here is the pagination model look like, and next we need to go to user repository. We need to add some method over user repository. So let's just copy over here, and then paste here. Okay, look in here, we already create the method for get all, and then this will be hit to this endpoint, and then we will passing the page size and search query string. In over here we'll return the list user model, and here is the parsing pagination model. When we get response data from data JSON, then we parsing the pagination JSON inside response data over here. After passing pagination model, we declare variable data as a list, because in this data the attribute is dynamic, so we need to convert as a list. And then after that, we mapping data to user model as a list, so we get the recent result as a list of user model. So here is the method for get all data from pagination API. And next we need to move to the user block. And here we need to add the event and the state for get fetch data from pagination. So let's declare new event for get all event. Just copy this one and paste over here. So okay, in this user block we already declared get all event, and in this event we have an attribute for page size and search, and this is a user state for list. So when we success fetch data from the API pagination, we will return the data to this user state as user list of model. And in this statement we declare if event is get all event, then we will get all data from repository user in here. After that we passing data into user state. So that's really cool. And so now let's go to the profile. I think I would like to move this profile view to profile inside here. Right, and let's go to profile list view, and now we need to remove this one. Okay, now in this profile list view we would like to implement the block fetch data pagination into this widget. So let's go to the body. Okay, here is the implementation of block inside the profile list view widget. Maybe we can go to this one, and you can see this is the block provider. I provide the block user inside this root widget, and then I trigger the add get all event inside this block user. So when I click this icon, then it will be triggered to this event. So, and then inside this profile list widget, I just need to consume the state of block user. Inside this body you can see block consumer with block user and then user state. And then inside this listener I add if condition. If the state is user state and state of user list attribute is not known, then this list user will add it to the list user as a local variable. Then I also set is load more to false to stopping the indicator of loading. And then over here will when I tell it to the builder when the builder will running is if current state is user state and then current state of attribute users list is not known, then the builder will be running to showing the data. So this is how to fetch data. And for event load more button here, I also trigger get all event inside this on press with the new page index, and also I state page index with +1 to save the current page index. So let's see the data. Now we get the new data from the next page of our pagination. Let's just check this one again. Okay, that's great. Perfect. We already successfully implement get data with pagination API using BLOC Pattern. And now I want to implement new event. When I click one of these data, then it will be showing to detail information of user or profile data. So this is will relate to a previous tutorial in here how to get data and update data using block pattern. So if you're not yet to watch this tutorial, please watch it before to continue this tutorial, right? Okay, let's go back to here, and then so I want to implement the event over here, not in here but in over here on tab of icon. I think we need to make some modification over here, because in previous tutorial I set this ID for static ID. Look at this event, I send the ID for just static ID. So now we need to make dynamic ID by giving the final integer ID, and this ID give a required. Okay, good. Let's just save it, and then okay, there is some error over here, and we need to parsing ID for user.id, and the other missing one is I think over here. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's just save again. Okay, this success. Now let's check this navigation. When I click this one, it will be showing the profile detail, but I got some error. Alright, the type null. Okay, I think I missed something over here. In profile view, I forgot to change this ID static with widget that get ID. So we need to get ID over here and then put inside ID event over here. So let's just have this one, and we need to close this. Let's just go back over here and then just check this again. Right now it's perfect. We got the detailed information of user, and you also can update data user over here. Okay, that's great. And now let's go back to the list of profile over here, and then next I want to create the add function for this icon. This is for adding new user. So we will to implement this function to save new user into our API. So let's go to the API service. We need to create a new method for post data. We just copy over here and put change to the post. So here's the function for post data to handle this save event add user. We just add this form data, just copy from this function, put form data, and then we change to post form data. Then in here we also need to change post method. Okay, that's great. Now we need to go to user repository and just copy this function, paste over here. In this function, we will return user model when post data success to insert into our API, because the response data from post method in API is returned to user detail. So we need to return as a model inside this function. And the next thing that we need to do is create event inside user block. So here is the implementation to handle save event inside this button. Here I just need to give a if condition. If event ID is more than 0, then this will be running for update, and if event ID is 0 or then we will doing post data into API to create new user. This is the simple implementation for save data. Then we need to implement this into this form. Let's go to profile list view. Okay, let's go. Let's go to this one. Let's navigate to this widget profile form, and then we need to modify this widget inside body. Okay, this is the implementation of save event. In this body scaffold, we consume the block consumer, and we define it state over here, and for event save button over here, we call the save event and parsing the first name, last name, and email, and we set ID as 0 to indicate it. This is for state event save, not for update. So now let's test this add function, but I think that I missed something. I forgot to parsing the image or file. Right. Now let's check this function. Click the image. Choose the image one. Click first. No, just for 999. And then save. Okay, let's just wait for a moment. Okay, that's good. Now we got the message success, and just click close, and then let's go back to the list data, and we need to load more. See the data. Where is 999? So the data successfully inset, and now it's showing in this list data, and just click this one, and right, this is data that we already input in previous form. And you also can change data if you want to update. This is 999. Let's just try to update, and right. Okay, but I got something error over here. Let's go to profile view, and then I think there is some hard code again. Let's just find ID. Right, it's over here. So I need to parsing this integer ID. Okay, let's just save this one and let's go back and try it again to update data. Click this one, egg, and then update. Let's see what we got in here. Right, but it's not updated. So what happened in here? It still doesn't work. One thing that we need to miss. Let's check. I think okay, there is another. Okay, let's go save this one and try to edit again. 999. Wait, right, it's success. Let's just okay, that's perfect. So the last function of the CRUD is delete. So I would like to show you how to implement delete function inside this block pattern. So let's just go to the API service and let's go to, I think I need to copy this one and paste over here. We need to change this to delete. Okay, and without anybody here. Then we go to user repository and we also just copy this function, copy to here, and we change to delete. And we don't want to return anything over here, so just return to no, and we don't need to parsing this one. And let's go to user block. We need to create new event for delete. Just copy this again. Loading, this is for loading delete, and this is for success delete user. And here we need to add new if statement. If event is delete event, just copy and then paste over here, and we call API web for delete, and here also for delete, and we're parsing the event.id. Change the state, access delete user. Okay, here is the delete event in user block that we need to setting. And then the last step is we go to the profile list and we need to implement function delete into this button delete. Let's just find delete, and we need to call the event delete over here. And we need to set state for storing delete id into variable. Okay, here is the implementation of delete data inside the block consumer. So in this button, we call the event delete event and passing the ID of user. Then we set delete ID for a local variable to remove the local list inside list user over here. So once state is success to delete, then we need to remove that data from this list without fetching to the API again. So we just need to remove inside list user over here. Okay, now let's just try to this function and just save it. Okay, let's see what we can got. Okay, let's see what we get over here. Let's test this function delete. Let's see. I would like to delete this data. Swipe right and click delete. And let's see. Okay, it got success. And the data that I delete is gone from this list. That's mean we already success to delete data, and the local variable of list data in here it also removed. And let's try to delete another one. Let's click delete, and right, it's perfect. Okay, I think that's all from me. We already implement CRUD function through the API using BLOC Pattern, and we also implement how to upload data to the API. So if you find this tutorial helpful for you, please subscribe to keep support my channel grow up. And thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video.